Hello and welcome back. In this video we'll take a quick look at your TPACK assignment. Now I've logged into my classroom and you can see if I scroll down a little bit I'm going to find the TPACK assignment here. The first thing you'll notice is that you've got activity instructions, so you can click on those. It's telling you a little bit about TPACK up here, not too much. And then you've probably already accessed this since this is the link to the current video. This second link is one that tells you about TPACK. So it gives you the instructional model and explains it for you. And then down here are the directions. These are very, very simple. What you're going to do is you're first going to think of a favorite lesson that you have taught that includes technology as a central part. Then I want you to spend some time thinking about it in terms of the TPACK model. And then there's an activity worksheet that asks you to record your feelings or thoughts about that particular lesson. So let's take a look at that. Once you're in the lesson, you can open it using the button at the right. Here are your instructions again if you needed to review them. And then here's the actual worksheet. You're going to see your name before it because we've distributed a copy, or I've distributed a copy of this worksheet to everybody. So everyone has their own individual copy. Basically, you just click on it. It opens up the worksheet. There's some very brief background information I'd like you to put in here. Okay, so who your target audience is, a second grade math class. Overall, what your objective for the lesson is, the length of the lesson. Now, in terms of the length of the lesson, this could be a single lesson, a single 20 or 40 or hour lesson. But for terms of this project, if this is something that was an ongoing project that took you several weeks, you can use that as well. We're just going to refer to it as a lesson, but basically it can be more than one individual encounter with students. So put the length of the lesson here. And here, any prior knowledge, so anything I would need to know that had been done with students before coming into this lesson that gave them the base that was necessary to complete it. Okay, now underneath these questions all relate to TPACK, and instead of putting the answer next to it as we've done here, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put the answer under it, leaving a blank line above and below. It just makes it a lot more readable for me. And this first is a question of what content knowledge is required. So you'll know from getting into TPACK that there are 3 parts, and feel free, you can do this in paragraph form, but you can also do it as a list. So you can use a tool up here to make a bulleted list or a numbered list over here, whichever one you'd like. And a lot of times that's more effective or efficient, at least for some types of questions. So please feel free to do that. The second question has to do with pedagogy and what strategies you used in a lesson. And then the third is what technology you used in a lesson. The final questions are where we really get into the meat of TPACK. Discuss the instructional strategies chosen and how they enhance the effectiveness of instruction for students. Why did you choose the methods of instruction that you did choose? Did you use a think, pair, share? Did you do group activities? What types of strategies did you use? Were there any disadvantages to those strategies? Maybe for a certain group of students they were advantageous, and for another group a different strategy would have been more effective. And your thoughts about how you might change it. Would other strategies offer more advantages or other advantages, etc.? The next question, discuss how the technology enhances the effectiveness of the lesson. We don't want to insert technology for the sake of technology. I mean, some enhancements might simply be the comfort in using the technology in a modern world and improving research skills, etc. But there can certainly be more. The technology can help focus students in other ways that enhance their experience, that make it more beneficial for them. How is it more effective because of the technology? And can you think of alternate strategies that would make it more effective? The last question is a reflection on the TPACK model itself. What, if any, value do you see in using the TPACK model as a framework for incorporating technology in instruction? So what do you think of the model? Would it be beneficial for you to keep this, keep this in the back of your mind or use this as a planning tool? Are there any disadvantages that you see to it? And can you suggest changes or embellishments to the model? How might you do it differently? Okay, so basically just some questions that you can think about after learning and applying the TPACK model to one of your lessons. When you complete it, when you complete that, you just want to hit this Turn In button. So that's how I'll know that you're done with it. You don't need to send an email or anything as you did with the Google Tour Builder or any other activity, so you can turn it in here. You'll notice that there are places to add things from your own Google Drive or to create things directly in your Google Drive. That won't be necessary in this case because I have provided the worksheet. In other activities, we'll play with these options just so that you know what's available and you're comfortable with it from the student end.